Welcome to the Deep Dive. We dig into the sources to give you the key insights fast. Today we're looking at a really fascinating figure in cinema. Get ready for a comprehensive look at the Indian actor Prabhas. He's become this, well, global icon. And our sources, we've got excerpts from a detailed biography. So it gives us a pretty solid look into his life, his career, the whole picture.
Exactly. And our job here is to pull out the really essential stuff for you. We want you to get not just what happened, but why his rise is so, well, unique, especially how he became this pan-India superstar. That term itself is interesting. It tells you a lot about dedication, but also about how cinema itself is changing globally.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning, lay the foundation. His full name, according to the biography, is Uppalapati Venkata Suryanarayana Prabhas Raju. Quite a name. Born October 23, 1979, in Chennai, Tamil Nadu.
Right. And what's really key here from the sources is his family background. Born into a Telugu-speaking film family. That's huge. His father, Uppalapati Suryanarayana Raju, a film producer, and his uncle, Krishnam Raju, a very well-known actor in Tollywood, the Telugu film industry. So, he grew up around movies. It was in his blood almost. Early exposure is definitely a part of the story.
Makes sense. But it wasn't just osmosis, right? He also got formal education and specific training, schooling at DNR school in Bhimavaram. Then he got a B.Tech degree, that's engineering from Sri Chaitanya College in Hyderabad.
Yeah, interesting mix, the B.Tech, then the acting training. He went to the Sachanan Film Institute in Visakhapatnam to really hone the craft, so dedication was there early on.
Okay, let's move to his actual screen career. His debut was Iswar in 2002, then Raghavendra in 2003. Now, these weren't massive hits, commercially speaking, but they got him noticed, put him on the map as someone promising.
Exactly, stepping stones. But wider recognition really kicked in with Varsham in 2004. And then, this is really interesting, his collaboration with S.S. Rajamouli, Chhatrapati, in 2005. That film was, well, pretty pivotal.
Pivotal how?
It cemented what they call his mass appeal, that ability to connect with a huge audience. It showed he could do the action, the intensity, but also bring some emotional depth. And that partnership with Rajamouli, looking back, it was absolutely crucial for everything that followed.
Right, that Rajamouli connection is key. We'll definitely come back to that.
Yeah.
And he kept building on it. He had a pretty consistent run after that. Films like Purnami, Yogi, Bujigadu, Darling, Mr. Perfect.
Yeah.
Through the late 2000s, early 2010s.
Yeah, he was solidifying his place as a leading man in Telugu cinema, delivering reliable hits.
So he's a big star regionally, but how does that translate to, well, global stardom?
Yeah.
That's a huge leap.
Ah, yes. The game changer. It really comes down to one name, doesn't it? Bahubali. Directed, again, by S.S. Rajamouli. That partnership paying off massively. We're talking Bahubali, the beginning in 2015, and then Bahubali, the conclusion in 2017.
On the success, I mean, it was just off the charts, wasn't it?
Unprecedented is the word, truly.
They didn't just break box office records. They basically rewrote the record books for Indian cinema. And this is where Prabhas becomes that pan-India superstar. His films worked everywhere, across all language barriers in India.
Which is incredibly rare.
And here's something amazing the biography highlights. His dedication. He spent 5 years exclusively just on Bahubali.
5 years. Think about that commitment.
Yeah, no other projects, just focus.
Okay.
Plus the physical transformation. It earned him enormous respect.
Absolutely. That dedication was noted across the board, and the impact wasn't just India. Bahubali became the first Indian film to gross over 1,000 crore rupees globally.
Which is roughly,
Yeah.
what, 120 million US dollars back then?
Something like that, yeah. A massive figure. It put Indian cinema on the global stage in a way it hadn't been before. It wasn't just a movie, it was like a cultural moment.
Okay, so after reaching that kind of peak, I mean, where do you go from there? The pressure must have been immense. His next film was Saho in 2019. Big action thriller, multilingual release. It made money, commercially successful, but
Yeah.
the reviews are kind of mixed, right?
Definitely mixed. And that pattern continued for a bit. It shows the challenge, Radhe Shyam in 2022, a romantic drama. That one underperformed, didn't quite land. Then Adipurush in 2023. Huge expectations, mythological film. But it was heavily criticized. Critically panned, really.
So it raises questions about managing those post-Bahubali expectations, the creative choices.
Exactly. How do you follow up something that big? It's a tough position for any actor.
But then he bounces back, which is also part of his story. Salar, released in 2023, directed by Prashant Neel, the guy behind the KGF films.
Right, and that was a huge action hit.
It really helped restore that action hero image, didn't it?
Yeah.
Showed he still had that box office pull.
Absolutely. It proved he could still deliver major blockbusters. His star power endured. And most recently, Kalki 2898 AD in 2024, a massive project.
Yeah, that sci-fi mythological film. Big budget, huge cast. Amitabh Bachchan, Kamal Hassan, Deepika Padukone. Legends.
And it was a blockbuster, got praised for its ambition, its futuristic vision.
So the comeback narrative is strong there.
Definitely.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Away from the sets and the box office. What about the person? The biography mentions he's actually surprisingly private, given the level of fame.
Very much so, it seems. Known to be quite reclusive, media shy, which is a real contrast to the on-screen persona. The sources mention his interest. He's apparently an avid reader, has his own library, loves nature, wildlife.
And his personal life.
Yeah.
Always speculation, I guess.
Well, yeah, linked to co-stars, as often happens, but publicly he's maintained he's single. What also comes through is a sense of humility and generosity, like donations mentioned during the COVID-19 relief efforts.
It's good to get that dimension, too. And his work has been recognized with awards, not just box office. He got the Nandi Award for Best Actor for Murchi way back in 2013. That's a prestigious state award.
Yes, and mentions of CIMA Awards, Cinema Awards, Santasham Film Awards, so critical acclaim alongside the commercial success, it's a strong combination.
And looking forward, what's next?
Well, as of 2025, the pipeline looks really strong according to the sources. There's Kalki 2898 80 Part 2, obviously, plus collaborations lined up with some top directors, Sandeep Reddy Vanga for a film called Spirit, also projects with Maruthi and Hana Raghavapudi.
So he's not slowing down, choosing some interesting projects.
Seems like a very strategic and diverse slate.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. What's the big takeaway from this deep dive into Prabhas? For me, it's clear he's one of a very small group of Indian actors who've genuinely achieved that pan-India appeal. Across languages, across regions, going from a Telugu star to a global action name. It really speaks volumes about his dedication, his versatility, and, well, his charisma.
I agree. And connecting it to the bigger picture, he's really a trailblazer. He showed how regional cinema could break boundaries and achieve national, even international reach on a massive scale. His career is almost like a case study in that. And maybe the question it leaves you with is this: what does Prabhas' journey tell us about where global entertainment is heading? About how those linguistic barriers in cinema might continue to break down? Something to think about.